and I'm going to back up.
Hmm. I think everybody mic is on mute, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, there we go.
Just let me quickly add just a quick summary. You were given the company, you were told some stuff about the company and what you're looking for. The seven people you were given are all qualified. And basically, you're trying to come up with who you think should be the CEO. And like the Miss America pageant, you're trying to come up with a first runner up. Someone who would step in case something happens to the CEO. So you're going to come up with a number one and a number two.
Yeah, so basically, it's like we're like the board, basically, correct?
You're the board.
Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha. Okay,
Okay, gotcha. And I'll see you later.
all right, cool, cool, cool.
Did we all read it? Go over
I should hope so.
it?
Yeah.
uh,
Do y'all want to go over it, or do you want to just jump into who you think, or what do y'all want to do?
I mean, I guess probably go start at the top and do like a pro con for like each one because that's probably like what they'll do in a boardroom probably. Just that go down to each candidate 1 through 7 and do like a pro con like and you can guess you can all make your case, make your point for why you think that'd be a good one or and why you don't, and then we can like do that way. That way, I think at least we hit all 7 people, and then I guess for the end we can see who probably be the best 2 people.
Hmm.
I agree.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. I say the first thing, the only thing wrong with the first guy is he's so old.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's 60. Like, even though they say his health is okay, but he's still 60. And you want to replace the CEO with somebody that's, you know, healthy, young, vibrant, and not so old.
Yeah, because
60 is not that old.
I mean, he's not that old, but for both of you, probably think about retirement at that point. You don't want to get somebody who's 60
yeah,
and
Yeah, I
probably
guess.
had to probably had to place them in 2, 3 years anyway.
I honestly had the same thing going for him too, because I felt like he was pretty well rounded and a pretty good candidate, but that was like the only thing that really stuck out to me was his
Yeah,
age.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, but even they did say health is excellent, but man,
He says he has excellent health, though. So.
I know. It's health excellent. I'm like,
I mean, I kind of read the prompt like we're looking for somebody for like 10-ish years.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know the dates say 2025, but I figured it was like a 10-year project, it seemed, at least to
yeah,
me.
yeah, true. You're right.
But
You're right.
I
You're right.
agree with you guys. I mean, yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah. Because the project starts in 2025, scheduled to end 2029. You want somebody to lead them through that process, but still, you even after you probably still want them to be the CEO after that project is complete in 29 to keep progressing and leading them in the future. So
Okay.
he's
Well,
60 now, be 64 in 2029, and like I said, I don't know how much longer he'd be working.
okay, we have those cons. I think that the next person is clearly not the person. I think um
yeah,
I it occasionally becomes extremely intoxicated off the job, I don't think.
yeah, that's a CNN red flag right there.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I
combining that
agree
with
with
the
that one.
National Rifle Association probably isn't the best.
Yeah, yeah,
I
and
don't mind gun use, but not while you're extremely intoxicated. Yeah.
good point, good point, good point. And
Uh,
how,
yeah.
how y'all feel about the CEO being political view being so outspoken? How
I
you
think everybody has their political view, and I don't think it really matters if he's
Yeah.
okay,
Republican or Democrat.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think that matters either.
Same.
I just don't want that combined with extremely intoxicated.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I completely agree because that is spells for a disaster for a PR move.
Yeah.
drunk
Uh,
driving, robbing a bar, anything, anything.
I do feel like it would be better though to have someone who's more like neutral, I
That's what I was
guess.
thinking. That's what I was thinking because I think we all know how things is with a political that you could steer away customers based on your views, and based and
Now
we.
you guys get.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
you
you guys
good.
are gonna kind of get me. But I don't know. Robert K. Andrews is a little like I like him, but it just I know his age, but like I feel like he can do it because 60 is not that old to me. I don't
I
know.
mean, I agree with you. I do. He's been the company for 25 years, so I mean, he knows the company inside and out more than anybody does. It's just, I'm
I
afraid
think
for
we
the
should keep him.
I
Like
th I think it's worth putting on the books because a lot of the directors that I deal with are that age. I don't think it's old.
Okay,
I
okay.
agree.
So
So
in the
keep
end of
him
the
on.
day, it's we
I
could
mean,
table.
he got the least con
Yeah,
to me out of
definitely.
everybody. Like I read all seven.
Yeah.
He got the least con because his age is really the only con that he has for him. Honestly,
And his health is excellent. So
his health is excellent. So rest of them, they got like we gonna keep reading. Like
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
And he's got
we could table number one and then just kind of keep going through the list.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
like him. I like
yeah,
him as the runner-up potentially.
Oh, that could be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
yeah, because he's
Uh,
got a lot of background with marketing and finance and all those other areas too.
yes.
Yeah.
We were on number three, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
Number
Yes,
three.
yes.
Um, the only con with him is I don't like. They say he has no apparent health problem, but he haven't had a health examination in 5 years.
hmm
That's I don't know. Like, but you don't know what's really wrong with you. And that
Right.
if you don't get no blood panel, no test done, anything could be wrong with you, and you wouldn't even know.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm biased on that because I hate going to the doctor. And I work in medicine, so it's double work.
Now I think most men you'll have a woman in your life push you to go to the doctors. Like you probably not going
Yeah.
unless you're like really sick. And I know for me, like it was my ex or like my mom, like push to go doctors.
I
Besides that,
barely eat lettuce.
yeah. So
So,
besides that, I'm like, I'm fine, I'm healthy. I go to the gym, I'm fine. No, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. So nah, I feel
yeah, exactly.
you.
I feel like other than that, though,
He seems
I
solid.
there's
Yeah, he's
not
solid. He's
many
solid.
cons.
Yeah.
Just that he doesn't have as much experience, but I feel like he could learn that in the role.
I mean, going to getting an MBA from Harvard Business School, that's solid. And
Yeah,
then
I feel like that already gives you some
yeah,
experience in
yeah, because if
itself.
you see Harvard, Brown, Yale, Princeton on any resume, like especially for a master's degree, like that's like you top of the top to get accepted in those schools, let alone finish.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think we should keep him. Besides the health, but like you said, if he graduated from there, I'm pretty sure he has the smarts to learn.
hmm
Be able to learn in the organization to be able to move up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean he been in the company
Yeah.
for 11 years, and then you all know everybody love optics. His wife is a newscaster, so they probably likable. That
Considered brilliant planner.
I like taking it in another direction. Like the old CEO is retiring, so I don't know if they said how old he is, but he's
he's
retiring, and
he's 42. Oh,
so
the
You
older
mean
than
the first guy?
retired
yeah, the outgoing CEO,
one.
Yeah.
and I
I
like
don't
the
think they
idea
said.
of.
I don't think they
I mean,
said
this guy's
retired.
25-ish years younger, so I like that idea.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's right at like a good age too, where it's like he's not too young and not in the too old category, I guess, quote unquote.
Just right. We
Yeah.
have three in number one and one in number two.
So the OCO, he was with the company. He was with the company for 35 years. So I guess you can do the math for that. He's probably
Yeah.
in his 60s.
Yeah.
He was coming for 35 years with the company. So he probably hit 60. So Carl, you said Joseph, like with him being 42. Also for me, like I'm 36, so I can see now with my own career, you deal with the younger generation and the older, and a
Mhm.
lot of times the older generation they really can't relate to the younger, and they're more so set stuck in their ways, and you want to push through new innovations. The 40-year-old probably will be able to understand the old generation, but still can relate to the younger one as well. Because you're not going to talk to a 60-year-old about Twitter and social media and that kind of stuff. Like,
How
nah.
old's Elon?
Right.
Good
He's
question. I have no idea.
he's definitely not 30s. Um, so you never know. Okay, well, we got three number one, one number two. We could go on to the next person. Number four. What do y'all think? They don't seem bad.
Yeah, the only thing that was crazy about her that I would think this is a bad thing is her husband, second husband, is a multimillionaire, and 8 years her junior. But that's not nothing bad. That's one thing that's really stood out. Really, besides that,
I just didn't see anything standing out
yeah,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
and health status is unknown, so don't know
Unknown, yeah.
how that is.
but I didn't see anything impressive. I mean, like about her. Like
Yeah, true, true.
she seemed like a okay candidate, but
She has
not.
a regulatory side down. I mean, corporate counsel and
Yeah.
FAA, but from a innovation
Yeah.
perspective, product perspective, yeah, she didn't really stand out, at least in my opinion.
I agree.
True. Like not looking bad, but nothing that make
Yeah,
you
nothing.
think why you want her to be a CEO either.
Okay, we could go to five.
Yeah, five. I felt with five, he was a little too political. That's what I asked you all about the politics wise, because he actually ran for I think Congress, I believe, or no, he ran for state house of representative. So he's very into politics. So I don't. So I'll ask you like how y'all feel about the CEO being so politically, upfront with everything. So that's my only thing about him. I'm not sure if I want my CEO to be that big into politics, honestly.
I think he might be distracted into trying to run again and not be able to devote all his time to the company.
I
That
agree.
too, right there. I
Yeah,
agree. I agree.
that's what I thought. I was looking at their stuff. I was like, they seem kind of like really busy, um, with everything. I definitely get the political thing, but I think it's also just that like they're running and they're writing a book and just I don't know.
Not enough time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. You're not really. And
And I
writing a book is a lot. You're not focused at all on the company. You worry about trying to run for the House of Representative. You try to write a book and just.
Didn't even win. Come on.
I feel like
Exactly.
my personal stance on him is I felt like he's like in his like midlife crisis stage where he needs to do everything all at once. And I
Right.
think that's the only reason why he's going for the role, personally.
I agree with Emily. That's what I was thinking initially too. You're just doing anything now. And it's like, who is it to say you have the right intentions for the company? So, that's what I thought when I initially read it too.
It could just be publicity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Use that as a leg up to win his next campaign.
Right, right.
You know,
Okay.
Mhm.
A six?
but his buddy had a heart attack, so there's that.
At 47?
47.
Told you 60's looking good now. He's looking awfully good.
But no, it's even worse though. He had a heart attack several years ago. So he had a heart attack
That's all.
maybe at 40. He had a heart attack. So yeah.
Jeez.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, we call it a day on six. Seven?
7, no, 7. I only like Skip, but I don't like him. I only know him, but I don't like him.
Why?
He's the product of spoiled, entitled, spoiled entitled is what I'm trying to find. Spoiled entitled and just get every chance. He's a recovering alcoholic. He was removed from his last role. He resigned numerous times to go on unpaid leave to travel the world, and now he's getting the opportunity to be CEO. Come on.
I mean, he stepped out on the company multiple times.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I
He
don't.
he's a product of his father was a founder of the company, so he's failing forward. He's
But
a
he's
poster child
recovered.
of that. What was that?
But he's recovered though. Yeah.
Yeah, until he want to leave the company again, go another unpaid leave.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm just messing. I think it's between 3 and 1 then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's what I wrote
Yeah.
down.
yeah. So I guess the thing is who be the because I think you got to find like the first one, then the one who would be like their backup. So who would be the one that take the reins, and who would be the
The
backup?
only thing that I could think of is maybe if we had Robert and then have Franklin as like mentored by Robert, so then he can end up taking the position after maybe then
I agree. I like that.
the project is out.
I
I feel
didn't
like
think of
that could
that
be a good
idea, but
move.
that
Yeah.
actually is a good idea.
I like
I
that a
think
lot.
I
Yeah.
that's
like
a
that
good
idea as
I
well.
like that idea because Robert, he's really is the best candidate for it.
Mm-hmm.
He really is, and
Yeah.
And since
Franklin is the second best candidate with his education. Only you would say he needs is more experience.
mm-hmm.
He get those 4 or 5 years experience being mentored by Robert, get that around 16 years experience in the company. Robert stepped down, Franklin stepped in. I think that'd be in good shape.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with
Good
that as
idea.
well.
Anybody else?
Nah, I think we avoided a few heart attacks and a few drunk people, and
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Robert to convince Franklin to go get a health exam too. So then we can get
Yeah.
his health.
that's a part of him being mentored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of being mentored. Let them know, like, hey, your health got to be in check. Mine excellent at 60. Go get screened.
Are you ready for me to come back in?
We are.
Yeah.
We are, we are, we
Yes.
are.
We are.
All right. Great job. I'm glad you didn't diss the old guy.
I was fighting for it, man.
So it's Robert and
And Franklin.
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 All right, good. None of the other groups picked Robert. They just, that's interesting. Interestingly, is I think he's the best qualified given the job description.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yes.
But there's one of the interesting things about the case. Well, before I do that, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, but let me say what I'm trying to do with this case is there's probably two purposes. First purpose is for you. You're all thinking about leadership and influence in this course, so that leadership and influence also happens in a group. So, one of the things to think about is your own behavior in a group, your own influence in a group. I know this is a quick little exercise. So when you were coming into this, did you act how you typically act in a group? Did you try and act differently or not? So part of it is just to think about your own influence in a group and influencing others. And then the second part I hope to get out of this assignment, I'm going to talk to you about analyzing group dynamics. And I'm going to say more about that before we end. But my first question to you is, what do you think you did well as a group?
Navigate, I think, and communicate. I think everybody communicated very well.
Yeah, exactly. I second that. I think all we communicated that we worked as a group to come with an answer, and no one tried to like bully and or lead or persuade in the way. We worked as a group to pick, and it was no belittling in one's ideas or opinions on anything.
The openness and stuff
Yeah.
to ideas. And everybody gave their opinion, so that's really good.
I like going through the list too. Like I like that we went one by one instead of just everyone says they're number one,
Yeah, me too.
and then we talk about it. That's what I thought we were going to do.
Yeah, that seemed to be the more efficient way to do rather than everybody ping pong around the different candidates. That was a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think you took a structured way of doing it. You said we're going to talk about cons and then go from there. And what happened is you were able to eliminate people quickly when by talking about the cons. It seemed anyway.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Anything else you thought you did well? I would agree with everything you've said so far.
Just good vibes.
Anything you could have done better?
Oh, so I know nothing. I know nothing is perfect. But I think we pretty did work pretty well as a group to say it's probably our first time meeting each other. Honestly, like see us on the screen. I think it was very open, easygoing communication across the board amongst all six of us.
Yeah, I felt like it almost felt natural just to talk to
Yep.
everyone. Like there was no problems with anything.
Yeah, it was. I would tend to agree with you. You know, I threw. Even though you've been in a class together, you've never really interacted with each other or maybe even seen each other. And you know, so I threw you into a situation. It's not typical, but it's you still were a group who had a task to perform, and you had to get it done. And which and but the last question I'll ask is influence. Think about who influenced you. Who do you two areas of influence? Who may have influenced your thinking, and then the second is who influenced the group in terms of how you were going to act as a group. So there's two ways of influence: influencing the decision, but also influencing how the group does its business. And those kinds of influence were present. So think about that a little bit. Some of you'll see it pretty clearly when you review the tape. You'll see who kind of set up how you were going to proceed and different ideas on that. And then you know, think about how you proceeded by going one by one. Well, who came up with that idea?
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember who it was, either Thomas or Abdallah. Which
I
I
think
think it was Abdallah, but I'm
uh,
not
and,
100%.
you know,
It was kind of a
I,
mixture of the
I
two
think it
of
was
them.
both,
it was a mixture
honestly.
Yeah.
of both of you.
It was
yeah.
both.
But you kind of all went along. You could have said something. Well, let's all go around the room and say who your number one and two were.
Hmm.
Could have done that. You could have said, "Hey, let's eliminate people and see who's left." So there's a lot of different ways you could have proceeded with the task.
I mean, even at the end, I think Emily made the final structure, and you know, we all agreed, so it worked out well. I think it just depends on the stage of everything. Everybody
They
pitched
had
in.
a pretty good idea right there at the end.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
good
yeah,
idea.
yeah. Because like I said, the only thing I think with Franklin and Robert, you using them together the way Emily pointed out was perfect.
Yeah.
You worry about Robert's age, which understandable, he's 60. You worry about Franklin's experience because he's only been in the company for 11 years. They're both the two best candidates. If
That
Robert,
makes sense.
if Robert want to step down after mentor Franklin, after how many years or whatever, he'll step right in and let that keep rolling just as smooth.
I'm gonna say a few words, a little bit of a lecture on group dynamics. And what I did is I posted the assignment, but I also posted with the assignment. I opened up a whole set of handouts I gave you on groups, and a number of these handouts are handouts I've been collecting. I happen to think that this is one area where you can gain some pretty quick expertise and understanding. And if you know the dynamics that typically happen in a group, you can exert a great deal of influence in a group. And all you got to do is think about groups you've been in. They either come off track for one of two reasons. One is they're very disorganized. And you've probably been in meetings where it doesn't seem to be going anywhere and you never know what the purpose is. And, you know, I know we've all experienced groups like that. Then I know you've experienced groups where people have hidden agendas. Other people seem to be blocking. Others seem to be negative. And, we did that. We can't do that here. And, that's the people side of it. And what I'm suggesting, there's two major dimensions of what happened in every group. The one dimension is, I'll call the task or the structure or the process, getting the work done. How do you get the work done? The other side is the people doing the work in the group. If either side of that dynamic is off track, for example, if you're so task oriented that you don't care what people think, you get the job done, but everyone's so pissed off, they sabotage the decision or don't implement it. The other side of the coin is if you're so people oriented, you may never get anything done. That's true in the industry I grew up in, which is academia. We were so process oriented, it would take 1 to 2, 3 years to put a curriculum in, or, and so sometimes you find that in organizations. So you really got to find a balance. And both sides of the dynamic are critical. If you do any reading about high performance teams, both sides of that equation are working optimally. You look at a group like the SEAL Team 6 or other high performance groups that you may have heard of. There's a book I recommend. It's called The Culture Code. If any of you are interested in reading an interesting book on groups, and this guy really researched some high performance teams like SEAL Team 6, a group of kindergartners, a group that was famous for jewel heists was another group they looked at. But anyway, and then there's another book I really like. It's called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. I think I may have referenced them. So I suggest that dynamic to you. So that played out here. There were various times during this meeting, I talked a little bit about the structure, how you went about your business. But you also took care of the people side, made sure everyone was heard. Some of the things you mentioned about we didn't belittle anyone's conversations, all of those things are kind of taking care of the people side. And I suspect you were all probably satisfied with the decision. So that's the other thing I kind of want you to look at when you analyze this. Think about yourself in the group and your own influence, but also some of the group dynamics. I put in with the assignment two things you can look at. One is a process check rating form. And you can use that form even some of the groups you're in. What I ask you to do is assess this group along various elements, like shared leadership, how conflict was dealt with, did you get the task done? I think it's a set of 6 or 7 dynamics that you could measure that speak to good group functioning. And then the other thing, I put a thing called process observation that talks a little bit about this task people. Sometimes in the literature it's called task and maintenance. Things that happened in a group, who were the influencers, what was the group climate like, etc. So, I wish I had time. I just want to wish I had time. We could spend a whole semester on groups and teams. But it is such an important part of your life too. And I really wanted to look for something that wouldn't be a pure lecture about teams, but kind of get you engaged a little bit. So I offered that to you. And I think as you look at the assignment, the other thing I asked, one of the questions I asked you, all the dynamics associated with getting everyone together. That's an interesting part of the whole task too.
I think that's Stephanie.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. No
So,
problem.
so that's what I was trying to do here. I really enjoyed watching your dynamics at work here. And so with that, I don't have anything to add. Do you have any questions you have of me right now, or any thoughts?
Well, probably not for this. No,
What's that, Thomas?
I said probably not on this. I'm wondering now is we're starting to wind down with the class. So, what's the final is going to look